Welcome back everyone to the Railroad Challenge. Today we are going to be building the walls and ceiling to our tunnel over here. The first question we have to answer is, what material will we be using? Probably the best one from the point of view of having to get rid of the least amount would be to make it out of regular stone. That way we can leave all the regular stone here and just get rid of the rest. I am cooking some cobbles so that we can have some stone to replace the rest in there because I don't have a silk touch pick with me. But I can do that while I'm doing the first round of replacing. Now the question is, where do I start with stone? Because we do have the sandstone at the very beginning in here, so I'll need to switch over at some point, probably where we have this post right here, unless I want to do it here, because actually this might be better, since let me check outside here to make sure that there isn't anything unusual going on that I need to take into account. We have all sorts of things going on here. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's probably why I kept the sandstones for as long as I did. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I probably kept it there. Oh, I have to change that. That is getting a little bit annoying there. Alright. Therefore, I will use this as the changeover point right here. As a small bit of transition, rather than a major transition or anything like that, I will just use cut sandstone for the final point there, to have something a little bit different to go from one to the other. Then after this, we'll just use regular stone all the way down. That does mean getting rid of anything that isn't stone, such as all of this gravel right here. And maybe I can even find some use for the gravel. Now, I'm not going to be doing gravel bedding as I was thinking of doing. Or will I? Well, I decided not to worry about gravel bedding while I was there in the desert. It's possible that when I'm going in the swamp, would I want to avoid gravel bedding or would I prefer it? I'm going to have to think on that. It's going to be a while before I go into the swamp anyways, but I'll hold on to the gravel and use that as a possibility. I just want to see thematically what works better as a bedding when you're going through a swamp. Would it be something porous like gravel so that it will seep down through it? That may be a good idea because very wet area, you may be wanting something porous in order to work as the bedding there. Alright, let's get into there. I suppose though I could backfill this section with dirt. And I do have to decide what I want to do with all of this when I have an area that I could potentially want to explore or something like that. That means putting a door up here. Yeah, that's what I'll do, is I will put a door right where you have the lanterns. Probably the best place to put a door. So I could have a door right here, and then the rest of it then will be filled in like this. Probably a metal door, because to keep out any ruffians, meaning zombies, so they won't come in and invade everyone. Yeah, got it. Oh, no, there is one flaw with an iron door. It needs iron. And apparently we have some bandits on the railroad. Alright, where Where is he? Oops. One thing about crossbows is they take time to reload. And he didn't drop his crossbow. Looked like he had an enchanted bow there. Well, are there any more of them? We don't want them popping in all over the place. Still, ooh, we've got a commander there. Well then, that could make things interesting. It looks like I managed to kill another one while we were out here, and he did drop an enchanted bow. He must have come under the tunnel. Well, I built a tunnel. They're going to use it. I'm going to use it, and they're going to use it. Well then, now let's see what kind of enchantment is on here. Quick charge. Durability 2. Yeah, this guy's still out there. I need an arrow slit. That's what I need for this place. Arrow slits! Well, I'm not going to be able to sleep as long as those guys are alive, so I better take care of them quickly. Unfortunately, they're not cooperating. There he's down. And the Vindicator's down. Oh boy, because I don't like Vindicators. They are really annoying, and I think I better get inside before all the creepers come around. I don't like creepers! I believe the enchanted repairs still use the anvil. I'll double check on that. Yeah, so that gives me a fully repaired quick charge 1 bow. Alright. Yeah, I should have made sure that there were no nice things here first. Loyalty, power, step strider, knockback, piercing. Wait, isn't piercing a crossbow item? Right? Yes, it is. It gives me a really sweet crossbow. What else do you have? Thorns, fire protection, piercing 4. I already got that one. Power, loyalty. Alright, I think that'll do for now. Now, I haven't done much with crossbows, but we could test it out. Now, I've got a power 5, punch 4, flame, unbreaking 3, mending bow here. So, it's probably not an improvement over what I had, but occasionally I like to experiment with things, and there are advantages of having a cocked bow ready for some situations. So, we'll try that. Now, next thing I want to do is, before I visit a village, I want to make sure that I get some milk. Ah, here it is. Thank you. There, that takes care of that little problem. Oh yes, while I'm out here, I might as well shear some sheep. I mainly need some blue wool because I need some more of those South banners. And I need blue wool in order to make them. Now in the past I would have done the whole thing in white wool, but I want a map that's going to show the south direction in blue. So I've decided to do that in blue wool instead. And I scattered these sheep off. I need to create a sheep farm for this area. Maybe I should do that someday. And that'd be something actually to create when I go through this area for the railroad. When I do the eastern line is to create a sheep farm pasture, sort of turn this entire thing into a sheep ranch zone, and we could say that's what's happening all through here. That'll be the rule zone that it's going through before it gets to the end. Now, unfortunately, I think the sheep pastures end just before we got the station, and the station's going to be underground in any case. So that's not going to be our actual stop along there, but it could be something scenic to have along. At least something better than endless desert. The reason I consider iron to be a flaw in the material needed is, of course, that iron is a rather precious commodity in this particular series, since I need it for my rails. Up there, I'll just fill that in with some cobble, since I will say that regular stone is going to be a semi-precious commodity in itself. Alright, there we go. We go through there. I'll probably make a few things, stairs to go up and stuff like that later on. But here I can at least see what's behind there before I go through. So that's why I decided to do it that way. And this one, probably just easier to fill in this section. Good. And there you go. And then we could add our, just add stone and we are fine. On one of my return trips to the central hub, I noticed that I've got chickens all over the place. Now, those chickens still seem to be there, so I'm suspecting that during one of my upgrades, and there's something happened to some of the chickens that caused them to be able to escape from their coop, so to speak. But there's one way to deal with escapee chickens. There you go. I think I still have enough in there for the moment. Sort of moot anyway, because it's not like I am lacking for eggs. Yeah. This all looks bland because it's stone all the way across, which is nice for consistency, but isn't very nice for interest. So what I am going to do is I'm going to have some variation on what we have here, and that is to add some, let's try this, smooth stone for the areas other than. There you go. Yes, like that. Good. And use smooth stone for the places where we have the light. Now, I'm still wondering what to do with that one there. I'm thinking of using something different. But what would be good? Because that looks just out of place now. So I am going to do this, replace that, and there you go. Now, that of course brings the question, what about this location here? Because we can't put the smooth stone because we have the door there. Thus, it is time for us to change our mind as to the location of the door. And instead, we'll put the door, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we'll put this right here. Good. And then we'll have our smooth stone there, and I think it'll all look much, much, much better. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. There you go. Nice. After that change, I think that our tunnel looks much, much more interesting. So I'm glad I made that little update to it. And that brings us all the way down back to the station area. Now, do I really want to do anything here? Because we have track and everything we need from the point of view of safety, but of course we also want this thing to be able to appear halfway decent. What I'm thinking of maybe starting here, have something distinctive for it, maybe some would a pattern with diorite and granite perhaps. Well, here's some diorite, here's some granite, andesite. Let's have a look at all three of these and see if I could come up with anything interesting with this on the wall. Now we already have some granite here. Well, just a 3-stripe, let's say a, let's see, red at the bottom, white at the top, with a andesite in the middle. Let's try it out and see how it looks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want red on the bottom. So I'll just use the standard, not the polished one for this particular one. And then white on top. How's that look? Actually, I think that's going to work out. Though, how about starting it here, because that way we can have some sort of transition into it. And then this. Good. Now, what do we do for the top? I have to think on that. I think that works. Good. That way we know that this is the station. Now, I've started it out on this side also, but I'm not going to finish it up until I get further down and I know exactly what my intervals are going to be. But I think I will be getting ready soon. Maybe in the next episode I'll start building in the next line. I'll probably have to give myself a little bit more iron before then. I have that plus a stack, maybe a stack and a half. I do have some gold. I'm going to have to do a lot of mining before I could get any more of that. And while I'm at it, maybe I should get myself some armor. Something better than leather and iron leggings that are getting ready to fall apart. But I think that's it for today's episode. Next time, I'll either start continuing on, as I just said, or if I come up with any brilliant ideas, maybe I'll find something to do in order to do my interchanges. Because last episode I attempted, was it last episode or the episode before that, I attempted to upgrade my stations to allow things to be more convenient, and it has proven to be worse than the disease I had before. But whichever it is, I'll see you next time for the next episode of the Railroad Challenge.